The story begins with Elle Woods excitedly planning her wedding to Emmett. Her close friends, Paulette, Margot, and Serena, are always by her side, helping her every step of the way. Knowing that Fenway Park is Emmett's favorite place, Elle decides to book it as the venue for their wedding. However, she soon realizes that she has forgotten to invite one important guest, her dog Bruiser's biological mother. Elle had found Bruiser abandoned many years ago and adopted him. Elle is now working at a well-known law firm where she is highly regarded by her colleagues. Her boss, Blaine, appreciates her hard work, and she enjoys working with her colleague Kevin. Elle's life is busy but fulfilling as she juggles her career, her wedding plans, and her search for Bruiser's mother. Elle hires a private investigator named Finchley to find Bruiser's mother in time for the wedding. Finchley discovers that Bruiser's mother is being held at a facility run by VERSACE, Veterinary Experimentation Research Science and Critter Exploitation, a place where animals are used for cosmetic testing. When Elle visits the facility, she is horrified to see Bruiser's mother locked in a lab, undergoing various cosmetic tests. The facility is owned by the same Magnifique Corporation. Determined to rescue Bruiser's mother and expose the cruelty, Elle presents her findings to the partners at her law firm, urging them to take legal action against the company. However, instead of supporting her, the partners mock and laugh at her, reminding her that their firm represents Say Magnifique. Realizing that she cannot work for a law firm that condones such practices, Elle decides to leave her job and find another way to fight for Bruiser's mother and other animals like her. After realizing she has been fired, Elle becomes determined to change the law to free Bruiser's mother. She reaches out to her old friend, U.S. Representative Victoria Rudd, who she knows from her days at Harvard. Victoria gives Elle a job assisting her in drafting new laws to present to the committees. Elle joins Victoria's team, which includes staff members Grace Rossiter, Timothy McGinn, and Rena Giuliani. Together, they begin the challenging work of creating legislation to protect animals like Bruiser's mother from being used in cosmetic testing. Elle's determination and passion drive her to fight for this important cause, hoping to make a real difference through the legal system. Elle faces several struggles with her coworkers and her distinctively blonde mannerisms, earning her the nickname, Capital Barbie. She once again finds herself not fitting in and struggles to convince people that animal testing is cruel. Grace, one of her colleagues, sets Elle up by taking her to a committee hearing on energy and commerce, headed by Libby Hauser, and prompting her to give an impromptu speech. Unprepared, Elle talks about animal rights and hosting a party, which earns her the ire of Libby Hauser. Frustrated by the setbacks in congressional progress, Elle meets a helpful doorman named Sid Post, who offers her some inside tips. Despite Sid's advice, Grace continues to be a hindrance, preventing Elle from talking to other congressmen or their aides to educate them about her bill. Rena, another colleague, wants to draft a bill to cover changes to pharmaceuticals, but Grace insists on following protocol and having the lawyers write the bill. Sid advises Elle that Libby Hauser responds to facts and figures rather than humanitarian arguments, giving Elle a new strategy to consider in her efforts to push the bill forward. Realizing she needs to approach things in her own unique way, Elle starts campaigning to the senators on the committee. During this time, she discovers that her dog, Bruiser, is gay when she gets a call from the Paws That Refreshes, a doggy day spa, where Bruiser has been affectionate with Leslie, a Rottweiler owned by Congressman Stan Marks. Marks is the chairman of the Committee on Energy and Commerce, which oversees Bruiser's bill. Elle also learns that Congresswoman Libby Hauser, the ranking member of the same committee, was a member of her sorority, Delta Nu. Elle uses this connection to her advantage and tells Hauser that 125,468 people in her district have dog licenses and would care deeply about this issue. As a result, both Marks and Hauser warm to Elle and eventually come to support Bruiser's bill, marking a significant step forward in her campaign to end animal testing for cosmetics. Elle's bill makes it to the House of Representatives, but suddenly, its key supporter, Rep. Rudd, withdraws her backing, causing the bill to be dropped. What Rudd doesn't initially tell Elle is that her biggest financial supporter has significant stock in the company targeted by the bill. If Rudd continues to support Elle's bill, this financial backer will pull their funding. Rudd explains to Elle that Grace orchestrated a move to support Rudd's homeowner's bill, forcing Rudd to choose between the two. Torn by the conflicting interests, Rudd ultimately decides to prioritize her political and financial stability over supporting Elle's bill, leaving Elle feeling betrayed and disheartened. Discouraged by the politics, Elle decides to go back home. However, her co-workers, Timothy and Rena, refuse to give up on her. They quit their jobs and make it their personal mission to get her bill passed. They are inspired by Elle's accomplishments and determination, realizing that they have never come this far in their careers. Together, they devise a plan to pull the bill out by presenting it directly to the House floor and securing 218 signatures. This would allow the bill to bypass the usual committee process and be brought to a vote. Timothy and Rena's support reignites Elle's resolve, and the three of them embark on a grassroots campaign to gather the necessary signatures and ensure that Bruiser's bill gets the attention it deserves. Elle calls in her Delta Nu sisters, Margot and Serena, and they set up a call-out system to rally support. Paulette contributes by offering free haircuts to any congressman who agree to support Bruiser's bill. Determined to give her bill a fair chance, Elle approaches Grace and asks her to reconsider. Grace reveals that she never backed the homeowner's bill and that Rudd had lied to Elle. Confronting Rep. Rudd before her interview with the news, Elle gets Rudd to confess to her plot against her. Unbeknownst to Rudd, their conversation is being recorded by a tape recorder left in the room for testing, in preparation for Rudd's interview with a journalist. This recording captures Rudd's confession, exposing her deceit and giving Elle the evidence she needs to move forward with her campaign for Bruiser's bill. Elle tells Rudd to do the right thing, refusing to blackmail her. Just when it seems all hope is lost, Grace overhears their conversation, steals the tape with Rudd's confession from the news, and hands it to Elle. Inspired by this turn of events, Elle and her team organize a Million Dog March to protest the lack of laws protecting animals. They come up with some creative and wild ideas to gather the remaining signatures. On the last day, they still need 100 signatures. Desperate, Grace informs Elle that she will be addressing the committee that night. Instead of delivering her planned speech for Bruiser's bill, Elle gives a heartfelt and guilt-inducing speech, highlighting the corruption in the system and emphasizing that animals cannot speak for themselves. Her passionate plea resonates with the committee, putting the spotlight on the urgent need for change and rallying support for Bruiser's bill. The bill barely passes, with the final crucial vote coming from Rep. Rudd, resulting in all the animals being set free. Elle and Emmett have their wedding, and Bruiser is joyfully reunited with his mother. Although their wedding isn't at Fenway Park as initially planned, they marry in a park in D.C., standing on the home plate delivered by Paulette's husband. After the ceremony, Emmett asks Elle where she wants to live now that they're married, suggesting Boston, Beverly Hills, and Washington, D.C. Elle glances at the White House and winks at the camera, hinting at a potential future in politics as the movie ends. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.